it okay to listen to music whilst riding your bike? Today, I'm setting out to find an answer to this age-old debate. To do so, I'm going to be testing out 3 pieces of equipment. Can I truly be aware of my surroundings whilst I enrich myself with tunes, or is it just plain dumb? Now, I know this is going to be a huge debate down in the comment section, so get your thoughts down below. I think it's going to be pretty similar levels to that of whether or not people should be riding with helmets on. Now, if you do want to get involved with that, then you want to click the link right here, but after you get involved with this video. But before I begin my test for today, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I'm here to bring you all your e-mobility and bike and scooter and electric vehicle needs on this channel. So hit subscribe. So first up, I'm bringing out the big guns. This is my Bose Bluetooth speaker. So I've had this for a couple of years now. It costs about £120. It's got incredible sound quality, so there's no skimping on that. And what's really good about this as well is that it comes with a strap at the back, so you can attach it to things like some handlebars. Speakers on a bike is quite a common sight here in London, at least. People love to chuck them on, get their tunes out. Now, what I do think, maybe because I'm a little bit more conscientious, is the fact that you kind of want to be aware of what music you're playing, because I think if you choose wrong, or maybe you're a little bit too alternative, it can get a bit annoying. So I'm gonna try and pick some decent tunes, and we can't play them out in this video because we don't have the license for them. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking over the video for this bit, but I'm just really interested to see the people's reactions and see how I'm greeted. Particularly, I've done this before where you're kind of at the traffic lights and it just feels a bit awkward because everyone's just kind of there silent and you're all just sitting around waiting for the lights to go green and you're playing whatever tune, and then you get really conscious. You feel like you're the DJ and you're like, is anyone vibing this? I don't know. Okay, right. We have so much to unpack here right now. I mean, as you've probably seen, having a speaker makes your commute so much more fun, so much more vibey. I really enjoyed that. I never ride with any music, so this has been a really, really fun one to do. This particular speaker also just has the best sound quality. It's so clear, it's so crisp. The bass is unbelievable, and also with it having that waterproofing with it as well means that if it is rainy, it is windy, I know it can hack it, and I'm not going to worry about having a broken speaker at the end of my ride. But most importantly, I feel really confident riding with a speaker and how aware I feel of what's going around me on the roads. Having sound coming from your bike actually is a really good way of letting pedestrians and other vehicles know that you're around. If you are a cyclist, you probably will have experienced pedestrians walking out into the roads because they haven't looked, they haven't seen you, and all of a sudden you're having to bark at them or slam on the emergency brakes to make sure that you don't bump into them. But the problem is, your music might not be everybody's cup of tea. And particularly if you're rocking up next to somebody who also is playing music from their speaker, then it's just going to be a really awful mesh of sound. So safety-wise, I think it's absolutely brilliant, and actually it's made my ride way more enjoyable, but it does add more sound pollution to the sphere. So would I do it personally all the time? I won't do it too often because, you know, especially on like a sort of Monday morning cycling to work, everyone's a bit miserable. I don't know if I could hack the looks. If you're a really confident person, go for it. Just don't play really left field music. The next piece of equipment I'm going to be testing, I think, is the most divisive one on the list. So I see a lot of commuters using this daily. It is, of course, AirPods. Now, very handy, I know, because they are wireless, so that means that you can just plug them right in and you can put your helmet in and off you go. I personally don't use these. I wouldn't want to use these because they are completely blocking your ear canal from any sound from the outside world. And to add to injury, there's also sound cancellation that are added into these. Now, I hope people don't use this while they're out on the roads. Now, I do see people will kind of put in one into their left ear. Even that, yeah, so I'm going into this, I've kind of already made up my mind, but for the sake of this video, I will do it and test it out. Cost-wise, these are 3rd generation AirPods, so they are about 150 quid, and I want to find out sound quality, what it's like. I want to see if I can actually hear anything around me when I'm on the roads. Are they going to be staying in my ears when I'm cycling around as well? And is it a good idea? All right, I'm kicking things off pretty intensively with the AirPods. I'm on a pretty busy main road here where the cycle lane is integrated into the road. Allez. All right, so obviously the sound quality on these are fantastic. Because of the version I have, I don't have the sound cancellation added into it, which I think is probably a good thing in this scenario. But I have to say, I feel like I need to be way more wary and check behind myself because, oh, okay, can I hear this car coming up? I can hear him coming up. He's coming closer, he's coming really close. Even though he was pretty far from me, or she, you know, even though the driver was pretty far from me right there, I could hear it coming up behind me, but I didn't have any perception of how close it was, to the point where I did flinch a little bit. The music is definitely the main noise here, obviously. So I can hear stuff. I actually can hear more than I thought I would, but I feel wary. So actually, I have to say, it's a pretty windy day today, about 25-mile-per-hour winds, and that wind does create a massive sound obstruction because it's blowing against the headphones, which actually means I've got another layer of sound covering up what is happening around me. But the sound quality is great. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my right one out and see if that's any better, because a lot of people do that. Right, I'm going to take this headphone out now and just, oh, the music stopped. I mean, already that is markedly better than having two in, but I'm still getting that wind just blowing through my ear, creating such an obstruction of the ambient sound around me. All right, well, I think that's enough testing of the AirPods. I think it's time to talk about my conclusions on that one. Thoughts on the AirPods? Okay, let's start with the positives. So, they're small, they're easy to carry, they're very simple to use. It's lock in, go. And of course you can listen to whatever you want. In fact, you can listen to more than what you could on a speaker, because you can listen to any music as cringy as you want it to be, or you can even listen to a podcast, because I think listening to a podcast on a speaker is probably not ideal. And of course, some would argue that you can also take calls, something that you can't do with a speaker, but I personally wouldn't recommend it, but that is down to you guys at home. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Now, I will say I was actually really surprised by how much I could hear. I thought it would be like total block out, wouldn't really be able to hear anything. I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it personally. I think if I had like the one headphone in the ear, I can just about get away with that. That's kind of fine. But day to day, although it brought a lot of joy music-wise, I do still think that it does block out a certain percentage, too much of a percentage of the ambient sound around me. Can't really predict how close vehicles are, or at least I can't anyway. Though I just felt a little bit more wary than I needed to be. I would say if you're going to wear AirPods, please just make sure you have some kind of rear view device on you, whether that's some hindsight glasses or whether that is a rear view mirror, just something just to make you a little bit more aware of your surroundings. Now finally, I'm trying this novel little thing. So these are Shokz OpenSwim Pro. Now these are open ear sports headphones. So I've never actually tried these before. My friends swear by them, but the technology has been around for over a decade now, so I'm really intrigued to find out how these work. So what makes them different to other headphones is the fact that they work through the magic of bone conduction. These headphones rely on sound being transmitted through vibration, which goes through the bones of the head and the jaw. So you'll see when I put these on that it doesn't actually connect with your ear at all. It kind of sits above, and that means that the sounds will completely bypass your eardrum and goes into the inner ear, which gives you more ability to hear things around you, or so they claim. I mean, is the sound quality going to be even good with this? How can it be good if it's completely bypassing the eardrum to begin with? Let's go find out.
Whilst I unbox these babies, I'll tell you a little bit more about the features. As you can tell by the name, these headphones are waterproof to the point that you can submerge them in 2 meters of water for 2 hours, which would make them a sturdy accompaniment to the wet UK weather. They're not just for swimming, you can use them for all kinds of activities, including running, triathlons, the gym, or as Rich even thought of, boxing.
Right, so I'm listening to a track. I've connected to Spotify. It's working. Other streaming services are available. The sound quality it's much better than I thought it would be. Oh no, I think I'm gonna like these a lot. I'm so happy that you can pair with streaming services, because I know that you can also upload music onto these as well. So if you do want to go swimming, and obviously you can't connect to a phone whilst you're out in open water, so uploading MP3s is really good. But for every day, just listening, streaming music like I do, they allow you to do that. Yes! So I've got them on, but the key question here is whether or not they actually fit under a helmet. Now I'm feeling confident because the connector bit is already under my bun and the helmet should stop about here. So let's see. Oh, I can feel a little bit of pressure on the back there, but that's actually just because my bun was being pushed down. Clip in. Damn, yeah, I mean, it fits. Actually, you can't really feel them. Okay, maybe when I put my head down, the straps pull up and kind of push on them a little bit. But that is going right into my bones there, which should mean hopefully some good sound. My eardrums, as you can see, hopefully they're not too dirty, are completely clear. So this should mean I can hear everything, unless the vibrations and the sound completely takes over. I'm so intrigued. God, I feel like Britney without the mic, you know, the Britney mic. That's Michael Jackson, isn't it? We don't talk about Michael Jackson anymore. I'm really interested to see if these move around a lot when I hit speed bumps in potholes, because that could be really annoying. It sounds like someone's playing something out here, like it sounds like my speaker's playing, but it's not. I just had to check. OpenSwim Pro by Shokz, linked up to my Spotify. Oh my God, this is so cool. All right, it's quite quiet here, so let's see how things change as we get onto the roads. Sound quality, it's not as good as having AirPods, I will tell you that, but it is good. It feels like the highs are a lot better to make out than the bass. The bass gets lost a little bit, but I can hear this car right next to me. I will say that hearing the ambient sounds around me is obviously, it is blocked a bit by listening to this music, because that's just what's going to happen when it's so close to your ear. But in terms of awareness, I have a lot better understanding of the roads and what's going on around me than the AirPods. And you know what? I'm going over a bump and they haven't moved around my head at all. They are locked in place. They're pretty secure. I'm really pleased that Shokz sent me these, because I was genuinely thinking about buying myself AirPods, because I've just had to borrow the ones that I've been using today. But I think these are a really good option. I think these are the option. I would say that the music is a bit more background, but I think when you're cycling, that's what you want really anyway. You might not want that, say, if you want to go running, because you might want to be completely immersed. But it just kind of depends what you're after, really. I can actually see these being really good for, like, you know, so many different scenarios. Maybe it's late at night and you're walking home and you want some music, but you want to be aware of what's going on around you. These are a great option. Well. How do they look? Oh, you wouldn't even know, would you? Okay, let's just talk about that, shall we? So, sound quality, great. Not as good as AirPods, but still great. As you heard, as you saw me saying, you can still hear both the podcast and you can still hear your music as well. So it's a tick from me, but the plus side of this is you get to hear what's around you. I will say that obviously with the sound going through your bones, there is still a little bit of distortion. So there is going to be like a slight blockage to what is going on around you, but compared to AirPods, I mean, yeah, these are the winners for spatial awareness. These are truly really, really good, and the fact that they're also waterproof as well is very exciting. So you can use these not only for cycling, for running, for swimming. You can't do that with a speaker or AirPods, can you? So if you're a keen swimmer, then this is a really, really good investment. If you are interested in these, you want to find out more information, or you want to go ahead and buy a pair for yourself, then there's a link down in the description below. Go ahead, give it a click, and you'll get everything you need to carry your journey forward into the world of Shokz. Well, if you're still here, then you should definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why don't you go ahead and just hit that like button as well. Just treat me today. But the question remains, is it okay to listen to music whilst you cycle? Well, I actually don't think the answer is that simple. As you've seen today, when I've been riding around with a speaker, I'm able to listen to music and be aware of my surroundings, but at what expense of the general public? When you're wearing AirPods, that does compromise how much you can hear around you. Even with one ear in, you still don't know if somebody's going to be creeping up on the left of you. But Shokz for me has been a clear winner, because you have your eardrums completely open, you can listen to music or to podcasts, and you know exactly what is going on around you at the same time. So look, it's not a simple answer, and it's not the answer I actually thought that I would come to as a conclusion today, because I've always actually kind of been against it overall. If you are looking for a device that is going to give you some entertainment whilst also make sure that you are completely cognizant of what's going on around you, then Shokz is a great answer. Make sure to hit that link down in the description below to find out more information. Let me know your comments, your thoughts, because this is a hotly debated topic, and I will see you for the next one.